All right, guys, what's going on? It's your boy Tyler Gates, aka Tag Live 205. Welcome back to another episode of the Tag Live 205 Talk Show. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. For those of you who are subscribed to the channel, welcome back, and welcome back again. I was at the NFL Combine. That was the surprise I had for you guys on the last video when I said I had a surprise for you guys. I traveled to Indy, if you saw my social media, as I announced, to Indianapolis, Indiana, for the 2026 NFL Combine. And boy, did I ever have a good time, not only as a fan, but as a journalist. And I'm going to go down the list of notes that I took and summed them all up for you in a summary of bullet points to give you my takeaways from the NFL Combine and what do I think happened, what could have gone better for some prospects, other prospects that just tore up the Combine, and teams that are really going to get desperate for these prospects. So if you have not already, please subscribe to the channel as we are working, we are building, and we are working and building towards something called sustainability on this channel. And you guys help me a lot in doing that by subscribing, sharing, liking, commenting, and subscribing. So thank you so much for your support and what you do. Now to get on to the video. Day one of the NFL Combine for me was an experience like none other. Got right off the jet, headed right to the hotel. After that, I got literally dropped my bags, packed my clear bag because of a clear bag policy, went, had my tripod, had my iPad, had my charger in there, went to the, of course, I got my business cards as well, went to the Lucas Oil Stadium right across from the Holiday Inn. And to sum it all up, the experience was there. The fan experience was there. Everything was there. It was perfect. I did a 40-yard dash. I did all of it. 40-yard dash. Bench press. I did it all. Vertical jump, broad jump. I did it all. Trust me. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to tell you what exactly happened at the Combine. And day one stood out for me because you look at some of the standouts for me on day one, which was the defensive linemen, a.k.a. linebackers, a.k.a. Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese. But it was Sonny Styles' day. It was his day. This brother right here is something different. You want to talk about a massive linebacker, somebody who rarely is going to give you any bad plays, somebody that you can plug and play right now as your linebacker number one. Reminiscent to a Will Anderson Jr. In the 2023 NFL draft. He posted an elite 4.46 40, a 43.5-inch vertical, and an 11.2 broad jump. That is off the freaking charts for a linebacker. A 4.46 at 200 and something pounds with all that muscle is crazy to me. The vertical jump was the best ever for his size at the position in decades. This flips their narrative when it comes to being just big and rather than a true athletic playmaker. The fall off story for this is some pass rushers and interior guys who were projected to climb did not wow enough. So there were some fans that I was talking to and I made some friends along the way. They weren't very intrigued by Rueben Bain's small arms, who obviously did not participate. And they weren't intrigued by Cassius Howell and Lee Hunter, which I was very, very, very confused by. And why they tested some of the tests that they did. And where they tested. Thought Cassius Howell was going to run a little bit faster than that, to be honest with you. But Cassius Howell, Lee Hunter, they struggled enormously to make any impact at the Combine, leaving teams to question where they're going to project them on the draft boards when it comes to draft day. I do think Cassius Howell could slot to the second round. I do think Lee Hunter could even slide to the second round, especially off of their combine performances. Day one did not treat them so well, but I guarantee you, if they wowed somebody in the interview, if they did not bomb the interviews, they're probably a day one pick. The interviews I'm telling you, the interviews are probably the biggest part. If you do not perform, you can always use the interviews to save you. You can always use the interviews to save you as a prospect. Why it matters? The first day set the tone. So you had the defensive players, the linebackers, the edge rushers, the D linemen. This is the trenches. This is what we call the trenches, right? And the biggest spotlight for me was the linebacker position. I want to see who was going to show, right, who had that linebacker one locked up. And Sonny Styles for me is now officially linebacker one. I classify Arvell Reese more as an edge rusher, but they had all of them in the same category, under the same umbrella, running the 40, doing the bench press, doing the linebacker drills. So they had them doing all of the agility, all the drills. They had them under the same umbrella. So the measurables really matter to me. The measurables only saw players really project not that high, right? You had some teams that left day one adjusting their early boards. I mean, it was crazy. Among the rumors about Alvin Kamara and obviously Max Crosby that I was hearing from different scouts. And I appreciate those scouts if they're watching this video for even talking to me and giving me the time of day, because that means so much. But it was nothing like day two. Nothing like day two. You want to talk about brilliance? Lorenzo Styles, that's Sonny Styles' brother, by the way. Sonny Styles' real name is Alexander, but that's beside the point. Lorenzo Styles Jr. ran a 4.27. He ran a 4.27, people. 4.27. You know how fast that is? It was a 4.27, 4.28 unofficial time. I'm telling you, Lorenzo Styles made himself some money. He's a first-round pick. No doubt about it. If there was some doubt now, hey, there's no more doubt anymore. He is a first-round pick. He is a first-round pick. He was a standout day two for me. I'm going to get to other prospects as well that stood out on different days, but I'm just going down really my experience and what I experienced on day two. Of course, going back to the hotel on day one. When I got some food, but really the whole experience of Lucas Oil and why they call it the stomping grounds of the combine is from the RCA Dome now to the Lucas Oil Stadium. It's unimaginable, right? You're seeing records being broken there. You're seeing new records being set. You're seeing prospects go their hardest because they want to get drafted. You're seeing this stuff happen in real time. And as a fan of the game, nothing to say. I'm just excited. And I still am. I got goosebumps even talking about the combine right now. But to get into the athletically confirmed people in this draft, other than Sonny Styles and Lorenzo Styles, the Styles family that comes from Ohio State. You want to talk about anybody from Ohio State, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Lorenzo Styles. I think even Eddie Curry set some records or tried to set some. I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing. I want to talk about this standout. I want to talk about Taylor Green. I want to talk about Taylor Green because Taylor Green made himself some money too. May not be a first-round pick. Could be a second or third round pick at the highest, maybe a fourth. But at the same time, I think Taylor Green made himself some money. I believe the Miami Dolphins are going to be interested. I do believe the Arizona Cardinals are going to be interested, even though they might like a Todd Simpson with Kyler Murray being released today. Going to talk about that a little bit as well on the next reel or short video on my Instagram. So that should be coming real soon, right after this video drops. Kenyon Sadiq, freak of nature. Panthers should be interested. Saints should be interested. Buccaneers should be interested. Ironically, these are all teams in the NFC South that they need a tight end. Let's be honest. Green Bay should be interested. I like Tucker Kraft, but you can always use somebody else interested in trading up. The Dolphins should be interested as well. The Dolphins should be interested in anyone and anybody. If Ruben Bain is there for you, take him. If Ruben Bain falls out the top 10 because of his arms are being too short, you still take him. He is a freak of nature. He is a beast. He's a man amongst boys out there. You saw what he did all throughout the ACC. You saw what he did in the regular season. Ruben Bain, short arms, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter to me. I like him as the way he is. He is a freak of nature. He's a monster. He's somebody that's going to get you 20-plus tackles in a season. He's somebody that can even get you 20-plus sacks in a season. He could be up there with the Myles Garrett. He could be up there with the Max Crosbys. He'd be up there. Trust me. Trust when I tell you that. Another standout was Michael Washington Jr., running back from Arkansas, delivered elite speed for his size on the best 40 among running backs. That's a 4.33. Taylor Green, I did not mention his 40, a 4.36 for a quarterback. A quarterback run a 4.36. Blew everybody else's out the water, right? The 43-inch vertical and the 11.2 broad jump, yeah, he's going up draft boards. Kenyon Sadiq, who I just mentioned as well, this guy ran at 241 pounds, a 4.3940. That is the fastest ever by a tight end at the combine, or tied for it at least. Yes, he is a day one lock. He's going in the first round. I would be shocked if he doesn't. But back to Mike Washington Jr., running back from Arkansas. Delivered elite speed, like I just said. His 40 was a 4.33. That's the best among all running backs. And excellent jump marks. You want to talk about somebody that you need elusiveness at the backfield, he's going to give you that. He's not quite Jeremiah Love, but he's making a great case for running back number 2 in this class. You're talking about somebody like the Falcons who are going to lose Tyler Algier. You could use him, right? Maybe a day one sneaking in the late first round. I think a day 2 pick. If I'm the Falcons, maybe I do use a day 2 pick on a running back. I don't think Mike Washington's going to be there, but it's just an idea, right? If you trade back up in the third round to get him, it's just the idea. The fall off effect for this is a few wideouts and linebackers who were in the pre-draft combine radar showed up average on their drills. No elite speed, no breakout agility. Like a couple of Notre Dame wide receivers, stock dropped for sure. Eli Stowers from Vanderbilt, his stock went up in my opinion. He's right there, not too far behind Kenyon Sadiq, but there is a big drop off. There is a big gap between tight end 1 and tight end 2 in this draft. Dylan Thielman, I'm going to talk about him because I was sitting right behind his family. I got a chance to talk with his family, and he would do some early recruiting for my Falcons. You know, maybe if he's there in the second round, he might be a first round pick. I would trade up for him. If I'm in the Atlanta Falcons, I would look at that. You need somebody else in that secondary. You could probably move Xavier Watts to cornerback. He can play it. You could probably even move Billy Bowman to quarterback, but you probably want to keep Xavier Watts in that safety position. Billy Bowman's going to come back healthy unless we could get Avion Terrell, AJ Terrell's brother, who I would love. That's my number 1 option for the Falcons in the draft right now because he is just, when you talk about somebody that's going to go at it, talk about somebody that's going to be competitive with the Mike Evans of the world if he comes back to Tampa Bay, with the Xavier Legette's or the Tetairoa McMillans of the world, or the Chris Olave of the world if he's still in New Orleans. You have to have somebody that goes after the wide receivers and deny them of the ball. And AJ Terrell's little brother Avion can do that. So why day two matters. Day 2 was about confirming traits. The freak athletes answered the call. They answered the doubters. They silenced all the doubters. And one of the question marks now have real holes that teams will consider filling on draft week. Trust me, Kenyon Sadiq may even go in the top 10 when this is all said and done. Let's be honest. He's going to shoot up some draft boards. Day 3 for me, I was just enjoying. First 2 days, I was a journalist, but the third day, I said, you know what? Let me just be a fan. Let me just go here and make some more friends, get some more phone numbers, look at some of the merch that they had in their 2026 NFL Combine. I even went to a Pacers game after the first night, or the first day of the Combine, rather. I did get some apparel from there. Shout out Indiana Pacers for allowing me to come out to their game. Thank you for the seats as well, Indiana Pacers. A huge shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for making that happen, and consider me a fan now. Thank you to the Pacers department for making that happen for me. I'm gonna get into stock up and mixed bag right here, and that's how I have it labeled. So the stock up, Jeremiah Love and Eli Stowers. I just mentioned Eli Stowers from Vanderbilt. Jeremiah Love is gonna go in the top 5. Unless somebody trades up for him or unless he falls, which I don't see happening, he's going to go in the top 5. He's either going to be a Cardinal or a Titan. I'm telling you right now, if he goes in the top 5, he's either going to be a Cardinal or a Titan. And I like it for both teams, and I'm going to explain why. For Arizona, you just released Kyler Murray. Like I just said, I'm going to talk about that later. You need a quarterback. How about Malik Willis? You want to start over with somebody, right? But you don't want to start over completely and go into a rebuild because you still have a young team that you can build around. Budda Baker, I would look for a trade for him. Zaven Collins, he's panned out tremendously, right? You talk about the offensive line, Paris Johnson, he's solid. Or you could shore it up with a Spencer Fanu or Fano. And if not that, a Francis Mauigoa, somebody who we know and love from the national championship runner-up team in Miami, who we've been scouting for years. I mean, this cat can absolutely block. You talk about somebody who's going to be the forefront of an offensive line, somebody who can be the stalwart of your offensive line. And to me, Francis Mauigoa is the best offensive lineman in this draft. Right behind him is Spencer Fano and so on and so forth. But getting back to Jeremiah Love and why he could be great for the Cardinals. Kyler Murray's gone. How about bringing in a quarterback for the future? Either that is Malik Willis or Ty Simpson or another bridge quarterback option. Yes, you have Jeremiah Love there with James Conner most likely coming out the door. He's most likely gone, which means you need to develop and have a young core around Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride going forward. And he could be a part of that, if not the face of the franchise, along with Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, and then you have your youngins still on the other side of the ball, and Walter Nolan and Will Johnson, who you're going to build around as well, with Budda Baker most likely exiting if there is a trade to happen this offseason, unless you want to still keep him there. So Eli Stowers, another fit for him. This kid is amazing. We talk about the Panthers, the Saints, the Buccaneers. Anything you can use a tight end. I'm going to throw a hand grenade in there. Give me the Lions. I do like Sam Laporta, but you can always use a backup, right? You can always use a backup tight end. In this league, we have seen that it has been shown that a backup tight end, you always need one. You always need 2 tight ends. The Raiders run a 2 tight end set. I believe Tennessee could do well with a 2 tight end set with Eli Stowers and Gunnar Helm. I do also believe that maybe Kansas City wants to trade up in the second round and get their tight end of the future to succeed Travis Kelce. Think about all these things, but why day 3 mattered to me is the storylines became narratives. Guys with good tape at the combine boosted what they needed, which was their potential, but their personalities, and helped them boost their draft stock. Others looked very murky. They looked fine, but they will rely on their pro days and their interviews, second round of interviews rather, to keep their grades steady. Makai Lemon, I don't know how true this is, but man, if that draft stock really dropped because you were up there moving like Randy Orton back in 2009, I mean, I hope that has nothing to do with the player and the person. I hope that has nothing to do with him, or that takes a hit on how we view him. Makai Lemon is the best wide receiver in this draft. Second best if you take out the injuries of Jordan Tyson. But come on now. Come on, man. Come on, man. To close this out, the overall storylines for the draft for me is the athletic benchmark reset. This combine did not just measure guys, it reset expectations. A quarterback running like a receiver and a linebacker jumping like a wideout, and tight ends breaking records, that all says something that it echoes into April, right? We talk about positional flip books. Linebackers will now move up draft boards based on their pure athleticism. Tight ends are now slicker athletes, and more of them are starting to become more mismatches for the NFL. And running backs with size and speed, Jeremiah Love, are no longer just functional backs. No, we've seen it. They are impact weapons. Running back is an undervalued position, but it has started to become a more valued position with Saquon breaking the market. I guarantee you Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson are going to set that market way higher as well this offseason with their rookie extensions. So we're looking at this right here, and I'm going to give you my last take on this whole scenario for the NFL Draft Combine. You have watched this combine, and you tell me, I wrote this now, how many guys moved up because they looked like an NFL player instead of just playing like one. No. This isn't ballot. This is football. This isn't ballot. This is football. If you do not test, you don't matter in certain circumstances. I did not mention Fernando Mendoza in this video at all because I understand the hype on him. We already know he's obviously going number one. He did not need to do anything, but he showed his leadership by going out there and stretching, even though he did not test, which according to some teams that does matter, but he did at least go out there for calisthenics and he did stretch. If you do not test, you do not matter. Makai Lemon, he tested. Despite the slithering of the apex predator, he still tested. Ruben Bain, another example. I feel like he should have tested. There were a lot of guys who I saw as second-round picks that should have tested. Let's just keep that right there. And those who did test, they matter. They matter at the moment. You guys, I give you a round of applause because you went out there and you showed what you're capable of. Good, bad, happy, or sad, it doesn't matter. You show your butt off at the combine, and I'm proud of each and every guy that got invited to the combine. And we have to see in April who our teams are going to draft. What are the Falcons going to do? I think that's the biggest question of the offseason right now. What the Cardinals are going to do with their new quarterback situation? Are the Jets going to take a quarterback at 15? Who is going to reach? We don't know yet. But let me know down below who you guys want on your teams as of right now, as an early mock, post-combine era, or edition rather, and let me know down below who your favorite prospects are in this draft and tell me why. And as always, Tyler A. Gates signing out, y'all. Peace.